Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So apologies that there was no vlog this past week. I will explain in this video. But today's video is going to be my 8 to 12 week pregnancy update. It kind of throws me off that I'm only doing them 4 weeks at a time right now, because with Scout I did them every week, so I have to remember which 4 weeks this is, but this is 8 to 12. So I really want to just jump right into week 12 because obviously that's the exciting bit. But let's start with week 8. And back when I shared my last update, I believe I told you guys that I had felt like my morning sickness had gone and I was feeling pretty good. I was tired, but I didn't feel awful at the time. Well, I spoke too soon, and that 9th week going into my 10th week, I was sick. Really sick. I believe I threw up probably 3 more times, and I said this all the way through, but with Scout's pregnancy, as much as I was very nauseous, I was never physically sick. So with this one, to be sick kind of really caught me off guard. And even when I wasn't being sick, I was so nauseous. I was very much struggling in the mornings because I couldn't see something. Like if I saw something or smelt something or thought of something that made me feel ill, yeah, it wasn't good. But I was very sick that 9th going into 10th week. So I made a few notes through this 4 weeks. I say 4 weeks, apparently I only did it for the first 2 weeks, so I need to get better at this. But throughout week 10, I basically wrote strong days of morning sickness. Again, continued through week 10. I felt sick pretty much all day. Some days Liam would get home from work and I would run upstairs and get into bed or the bath. The bath was kind of my saviour though that week, because it was the only thing that made me feel not calm, but I think because I was in like a white tiled room in a nice warm bath, I didn't feel sick. Like there was nothing stimulating to make me feel nauseous, if that makes sense. So a lot of the time, as soon as Liam came home from work, I got in the bath, rolled out the bath, gave my hair a quick blow dry and got into bed. So that's pretty much how my week 10 was. Eating wise, I've still not been eating brilliantly. I've just been eating what I can when I can. And then the other thing that it says on week 10 is burning nipples. TMI, but I don't remember this happening with Scout's pregnancy either. Week 10, I haven't noticed it as much since, but week 10, my breasts were going a little bit crazy. My nipples were burning and they hurt, and as soon as I took my bra off at the end of the day, it was like a massive release. It was like, oh my god, why have you been strapping us into this thing all day? So I've had a fair few bra free days. Like if I've not had to leave the house, or if I've not had to go anywhere, or if I've gone out during the day and then come home, the bra comes off, because at the minute it's the most comfortable. And right now I'm wearing sports bras, which is kind of a good sort of middle ground for me. It's not making them hurt any more than they already are. I mean, they're still achy. Luckily I haven't had the burning nips recently, but yeah, sports bras seem to be helping a lot. Week 11, which would have been last week, was not a very fun week, and that was because, excuse me, itchy eyeball. That was because on the Sunday, Liam started to feel really ill towards the end of the day, and he basically crashed at 7. As soon as Scout went down to bed, Liam got into bed, and that was him out for the night. He was off sick Monday from work with what we think was a virus, because he wasn't physically sick, but he had a very poorly tummy and he was very lethargic and fuzzy brained and not feeling too good at all. So he was off on the Monday. By Tuesday he was feeling a little bit better, but I'd caught it Luckily Scout didn't catch it. His immune system must be really good at the moment because he didn't catch it at all. Yeah, by Tuesday I felt like poo, and then throughout the week we kind of tag teamed because we would kind of feel better and then feel worse again and then feel better and then feel worse. So all the way through week 11, Monday to Friday, we were kind of useless. We went to Warrington one day to have a quick mooch around the Toys R Us sale because we knew if we didn't go then we probably wouldn't go at all, and that was an effort and a half. When we came home, that was it, that we were done for the rest of the day. And then for the rest of the week we didn't really do much, so we kind of, that week, it was another week where feeling sick and being ill kind of overrode the pregnancy. I didn't really think much about being pregnant and how I felt pregnancy wise that week because I just felt ill. And I'm very, very thankful that Scout didn't get it because that would have been an even more of a miserable existence. So then going through into our 12th week, what I thought was my changeover day was a Sunday, and I still think it is a Sunday, but obviously scan days, you tend to go off your scan date. Yeah, I still think my changeover day is a Sunday, so theoretically I changed over on the Sunday, and then from Monday to Wednesday this past week, I have just been a mess, an absolute mess. Oh, I missed something. The Friday before, let's quickly rewind back. The Friday before I had my interim meeting at the gym for this like 12-week, I don't know if I've told you guys much about it, but the 12-week lifestyle challenge that I'm meant to be doing in the gym, which isn't going very well because I don't feel like I've got the energy for it. But I went anyway because I knew that she would weigh me, and as much as we have scales at home, I wanted to know what her scales said because, you know, I kind of wanted to see where they were at in comparison. So according to her scales, I had only gained 0.2 of a kilo in 8 weeks, which for me is brilliant. And I'm hoping I can kind of keep the weight loss on a slow and steady pace like that. And then I hope I'm not going to gain a lot in one go, if that makes sense. And it's just gonna be nice and steady, and then I'm not gonna have a whole ton of extra weight to lose once I've had the baby. I mean, this is all part of being pregnant. I really don't mind gaining weight, but it would just be nice not to feel like I did with Scout's pregnancy, where I felt uncomfortably big because I think I gained about 60 pounds with Scout's pregnancy. No, it can't have been that much. It can't have been that much. It was definitely a lot, but if I can happily gain around 20-ish pounds with this one, I'd be happy at that point. Like, I'd be happy with 1.5 stone, maybe a little bit more, but I don't really want to go over that. So that went really well. Let's go back to this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, I was just a nervous wreck. We had our scan yesterday, which was Thursday, and my anxiety-ridden brain was not letting me relax. So Monday, Wednesday weren't too bad because obviously Scout was in nursery and I was able to just logic in bed or clean the house and keep myself occupied. But Tuesday was really, really difficult for me because I had Scout all day on a Tuesday. And Scout is very demanding at the moment. I love him to bits, but he's so demanding right now. So a Tuesday is difficult for me normally because I don't get a chance to get much done. But this Tuesday was particularly hard because I was already feeling anxious, my brain wasn't particularly happy, and then I had Scout being Scout on top of it. So it was a hard Tuesday, but we got through it. So yeah, the last 3 days were just not fun. I was very, very, very emotional, very teary. I was almost gearing myself up to go in on Thursday to bad news. And the reason for that being is when we had Scout, when I was pregnant with Scout, we actually hired a fetal Doppler, and as much, you know, they say not to do it, and I haven't done it this time around, and I think that was part of the issue. But the first time round with Scout, I hired a fetal Doppler, and I knew in my head that if I couldn't find the heartbeat, it wasn't a big deal. But I found his heartbeat at about 10 weeks. And that meant that when I went for his 12-week scan, I already felt slightly more at ease because I'd already heard his heartbeat, and I'd consistently heard it as well until then. So I kind of already knew that he had a heartbeat going into the 12-week scan. Whereas this time, I haven't hired one. As much as I've thought about it, it's been one of those things that I haven't got around to doing, so I'm probably not even going to do it now. And that meant that going into this 12-week scan, I didn't really know what to expect. I was nervous because I hadn't heard a heartbeat. I hadn't, you know, there was nothing to go off of. We were going in completely blind to this scan. And I know that's the norm for many people, so it wasn't an unusual feeling, but for me, because of my experience with Scout, it was different. So we did go on Thursday. We dropped Scout off at his grandma's house and we tootled off to our midwives. Luckily, my midwife service is just amazing. I love it. You don't have to go to hospital for appointments. They actually have their own clinic for scans and blood tests and other things that you see your midwife for, and then your midwife will come to your home as well for other appointments. We didn't have to go sit in a stuffy hospital for hours. I remember with Scout's pregnancy, we were probably hanging around the hospital for a good 2 hours for his first scan, because you have to wait, and then you have to have your blood tests, and then you have to wait some more, and then you go for your scan, and if there's anything else that you need to do, you have to wait for those too. So it was a lot of waiting with Scout, whereas this one, because it was in the clinic, we walked in, we signed a few bits of paper, walked straight into the scan, came out, had my blood test, left. We were in and out in half an hour, and it was amazing. And I'm so happy that we've decided to go this route, because it's making me feel a lot more relaxed about everything. Before even falling pregnant, I was so nervous about everything, just because of the experience with Scout's labour. But so far, my midwifery care has just put everything is so relaxed and laid back and not strained, or you haven't got a ton of waiting, and you haven't got to sit in a hot hospital waiting room. It's really lovely. But anyway, to the important bit. We went in, the sonographer found baby, we saw baby's heartbeat flickering away, which was amazing. Baby also gave us a good old wave and did not stop moving. We obviously opted in for the nuchal translucency measurement to be taken for Down syndrome testing, and she couldn't get it. So I was already full of water. She made me get up and go and get another drink and just sort of jump about a little bit, wriggle around, get back on the bed, tried scanning it again, couldn't get it. So because we wanted it, we then went and had a wander around outside. I ran up and down some steps. I skipped back to the clinic in hopes that baby would move enough to get this measurement, and he or she. It's weird, I keep wanting to say he, but I think that's because Scout was always a he. Yeah, Scout was a he, so habit. But baby did move, and we did manage to get it, and it was 1.4, I think. So, perfectly fine. Apologies, the camera died and I just kept talking. So the most important thing really is that baby is completely healthy, wriggling around in there, and yeah, growing brilliantly. Baby was measuring at 12 weeks and 5 days. I thought I was 12 weeks and 4 days. So, like I said a little while back, I thought I changed over on a Sunday, but according to the scan date, I changed over on a Saturday, which means I'm 13 weeks tomorrow. We did get scan pictures. We actually got 3 scan pictures, but this is the best one of the 3, and I'll show you it now. And I'll try not to get too much of the reflection, but as you can see, that is the best of the 3 that we got, and it's kind of like a front view, this is the baby's head, and you can see the 2 eye sockets, and then you've got 2 hands and the belly. But yeah, that's the best one of the 3 that we got. That's also the one that I've been sharing on social media. The other 2 are very similar in composition, but they're a bit more blurred. There isn't as much to pick out. Like, you can't necessarily say those are the eyes, or that's that or that's that. So It's a very, very different scan picture to Scout's. If I can find it, I will pop Scout's here to show you Scout's 12-week scan. Scout's 12-week scan was incredibly clear. He was lying on his back. You can see his full profile. This one is just like full on front view, alien head, little bean. Looks a bit like Casper the Friendly Ghost. And yeah, so since yesterday I've been feeling really good. And this week I've not really been feeling sick. It was just the anxiety. I didn't really feel sick. I've had a few bouts of nausea. I've had a few moments where I've wanted to heave. But I've not felt sick and I've not been sick. So I'm hoping I'm not going to jinx it this time. I'm hoping that's the end of the morning sickness. But also because my mind is now more at ease, I just feel much calmer and happier than I did at the beginning of the week anyway. So now we are trying to find names for boys and girls, because obviously we still don't know what this baby is. And yeah, we are so picky, I want to say, with names, because we feel like it has to go with Scout, because Scout is it's unusual, but it's not abnormally unusual, if that makes sense. It has to go with Scout. We don't want it to be too, it sounds bizarre, but some of the ones that we like are quite plain, but I don't even know how to explain what we want. But if you've got any name suggestions, please leave them below in the comments, because we are so open to suggestions right now, and I'm very excited at the thought of naming another child. It took us so long to agree on Scout. Scout was always in the running with him, but it took a very long time for me to agree with it, and now I couldn't imagine him as anything other than Scout. So I feel like whatever we choose, it has to kind of fit us, as well as the fact that it has to fit alongside its brother's name as well. We have decided that we are going to pay for a private gender scan at, I think we're going to do it at 17 weeks. We were going to do it at 16 because that's the weak point where you can have the private scans done for gender. But because I change over on a Saturday, Sunday, and Liam can only really do a Saturday, Sunday, we feel like it might be a little bit too close to the cutoff point, because I would literally just be 16 weeks. So I think we're going to do it on our 17th weekend and go for a private gender scan we're going to try and get in at Window to the Womb, because I follow them on Instagram, they follow me on Instagram, and I've just heard so many good things as well, and you get a little sneak peek in 4D as well, and that's something we never did with Scout. So as much as we probably won't fork out for a full 4D scan, we'll get a little sneak peek at the gender scan there. And then it'll be nice when we have our 20-week scan with my midwife service to, you know, confirm what we've already been told, if that makes sense. And it also means that we only have the stress of choosing one name, either a girl's name or a boy's name. So I guess that's it. I'm feeling so much better. I could show you the stomach. I don't know how to show you guys because I'm in the bedroom, clearly. There isn't really much to show. I feel like last time I was a lot more round. I feel like my bloat was very prominent, and now I just feel very squishy again. I know from yesterday the baby is still very, very low, so there isn't much in way of bump yet, which surprises me because I believe, if I remember rightly, with Scout I had quite the bump at 12 weeks, probably bloating. But yeah, I will show you the belly. How am I going to do this? Okay, I'm kneeling on the bed. Hopefully you guys can see, but there's a little bit of something going on there, but I don't know whether it's bloat, my lovely little layer of fat, or baby starting to show a little bit down here, just pushing everything up. So that's where I'm at 12 weeks and 6 days. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Do remember that if you want to stay up to date with these updates, I am only posting them every 4 weeks. Also, I'm out of breath now. If you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you really want to stay up to date and not miss a video, make sure you hit the bell, whether it's down here, down there, because YouTube is YouTube, and I've been missing, I've now noticed that I've been missing videos, so make sure you hit the bell if you want notifications when I do post new videos. I'll hopefully get back on track with semi-normal videos now. I'm going to continue doing my weekly vlogs now properly every Wednesday, and for the next few weeks I will be doing different videos on a Sunday, not just pregnancy related. I know this channel's been very pregnancy related for the past, what, month, because I've been trying to play catch up, so you won't be getting another pregnancy update until I'm 16 weeks, so I will probably update you just before we find out the gender, or just after. Also, would you guys like a gender reveal video? I know those are the things that, like, they're a big thing right now, and I don't know whether to do one or not. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on Wednesday with a new weekly vlog. Hope you're really, really well. Enjoy the sun whilst it lasts. We have sun right now. It's very nice to see blue sky. But I will see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys.